Because I've been so busy working on all this stuff, I have really been putting off cubing items for my paladin for drop, so I can start grinding and actually have good drop rate. As you can see, I've accumulated over 13 billion mesos. I can get another 2 billion, 2.5 billion or so, I think. I think actually 2.6 when I do all of my weekly bosses on all 3 of my characters, but I space them out. I do 1 character per day so that I can get the reward points. And I also need to do Lotus and Damien with Cynthia. I still haven't really discussed doing any of the later bosses yet. But 13 billion mesos is more than enough to get myself a good chunk of drop gear. I'm actually kind of curious. How much is one of these badges? 15 bill. Okay. Yeah, I would love to get one of these. It's just my mesos are too valuable for to spend them on that right now. It's a 10% IED increase, and that is not even close to being worth 15 billion mesos on this character yet. Talk to me in like 2 years. So, what's the plan for this cubing session and a little bit of star forcing probably as well? Well, I have a couple things in mind. I want to primarily focus on getting this greed pendant to legendary with hopefully 2 lines of drop. That is like a super dream scenario. I think that would cost about 13 billion mesos to achieve that. So that's kind of a, yeah, super dream scenario, not counting on it. Also not really gonna worry about it too much. Wow, I still have this map saved. Yeah, sure, we'll cube here. Yeah, that's fine. The other things that I want to cube, earrings. The reinforced Gollix earrings, I got these up to unique at some point using trash cubes from boss runs. I've thrown actually quite a bit of cubes, the rest of the trash cubes, onto the greed pendant with no tier up luck. Outside of that, I'm thinking of making this Mechanator pendant a piece of drop gear, but it is worth noting that I do have 2 Dominator pendants. So what I could theoretically do is just turn one of these into drop gear and have a better version of the Mechanator pendant instead of settling for the Mechanator pendant as a piece of drop gear. So that would cover both of my pendants, the Dominator or Mechanator, not 100% sure, and the Greed pendant. We're gonna start with the Greed pendant and just see how that goes, really. I think I'm just gonna throw all black cubes at it because, no, I guess that's not really the most effective way to do things. What I'll do is I'll start off with, what is that, 5 packs of black cubes. Once this gets to legendary, I'll swap over to red cubes until I get a piece or a line of drop, and then I'll move on to the next piece of gear. I think that is going to be the most effective way to approach this, so let's go ahead and get started. It's been a long time since I've cubed something. It's super fun, admittedly. It's kind of like gambling. You know this. If you're watching this video, you're probably pretty familiar with how cubing works in this game. Nice, there we go. Got it up to unique. That wasn't too bad. Let's see if we can get a quick legendary. That would be nice. I did only buy 36 cubes, so, or was it 35? I don't remember. 5 packs of 6? Did I buy 6 packs of 6? Because 5 packs of 6 would have been 30 cubes, and I definitely had more than 30 cubes. I think I bought 6 packs. Oh, well, clearly I needed it. Wow, that's double? No, that's not prime. It's unique. I was gonna say, is that double prime? Oh, well, there's double prime decks. We got it. Yay. Oh my god, what an amazing tier up. All right, so I'll save that last black cube for, I don't know. Maybe I'll have a super lucky double drop meso moment like Cynthia did. I think I'm gonna buy 10 packs of reds. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's get some drop. It shouldn't take too long to get that because it is a fairly common line. Nexon, please just change the defense line to actually spell out defense. I don't get it. I don't understand why they have to torture Dex users like this. There's some item drop rate. So that's a pretty lame drop potential. It doesn't have any secondary benefit. It's literally just purely drop rate. You could make the argument that Dex is pretty, well, it's not pretty good. That's definitely an overstatement, but it is acceptable. So next on the list is going to be the reinforced Gollix earrings. I have been going back and forth in my head. Do I want to do reinforced Gollix earrings, or do I want to just make my alien fragment earrings into drop gear? But the problem really becomes accessibility of superior accessories. I currently have 350 Gollix coins. I think that's actually half of what you need to get a superior Gollix earrings. Can you buy superior Gollix earrings? Or can you only buy belts and the other one? Sorry, I'm rambling. Doesn't matter. The accessibility of superior items being just such a far away goal currently, plus the fact that these alien fragment earrings are already triple strength and have a solid flame, like that's actually a really good flame for a non-flame potential item. I don't remember when I rolled that, but that's pretty good. It could only be, I mean, it would be better if it had some attack on it or something, but yeah. And then eventually I do want to 17 star these alien fragment earrings, and then once I get superior, I might transition them into being drop gear or something. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I do know that I'm gonna try probably to 17 star these today. I don't think there's a pair of 170 earrings in the game at all, so I have to get these to 17 star within the next like month or so before they take away alien PQ. But I'm kind of rambling now, so let's just get to these reinforced Gollix earrings. No lucky tier up, it seems. So I guess I'm gonna go buy a bunch of black cubes, I suppose. I'm gonna need them for future items anyway. It's gonna take quite a lot for them to outdamage my alien fragment earrings. That's the inverse of what I currently have. Yeah, all right. Not a bad amount of cubes to use for a tier up. I'm happy with that. Let's get this drop. All right, there it is. Item drop rate and a line of strength, which is actually pretty good. Now, these earrings are gonna need to be flamed and star forced. And I think I'm just gonna go ahead and boost them up to 12 now. In the future, I can worry about getting them to 17. Accessibility of reinforced items specifically is not that big of a deal to me because, I mean, I'm already getting them. I already have a duplicate pair of reinforced earrings. So reinforced gear is not an issue for me, or most people, I would imagine. All right, 12 stars, that's acceptable. So you can see I'm losing about 500k range already for this drop gear, so this will put me down to 16.8k stat, which is a significant drop in stat. So, you know, that does kind of suck. There's not really a great way around that. Drop gear is always going to be inferior to your damage gear, but it is what it is. All right. So the next item on the list is kind of a little bit of a sad one, and it makes me sad because I love that this item only has one line of potential on it. But in the weeks that I've been doing Pink Bean every day and doing Chaos Pink Bean all the time, I haven't gotten a duplicate Black Bean mark. So the only option is to just use this one. And I'm not excited about it, like I said, because I'm gonna lose the special one-line potential that I love so much, which came from a glitch from a previous version a long time ago, in case you're wondering. But the reason that it's not really that big of a deal to me is twofold. One, it's stupid. Having one line on an item is dumb, particularly if it's an item you're using, which is the case for these black bean marks. Secondly, my Xenon actually has a couple one-line items, so if I really ever feel the need to show off that cool glitch, I can just go over to that character and look at it. It's not a big deal. So let's see what happens when you use a stamp on a one-line item. Well, it has to work. It goes up to 2 lines. Whoa, that's crazy. I actually was totally 100% expecting it to go straight up to 3 lines. That's kind of interesting. Okay, well, there you go. Now we do the same thing that we always do. Throw a bunch of black cubes at it and get something good. Oh, fast tier up, actually. Big tier up. All right, let's go grab some more black cubes. Double strength, we'll take double strength. Let's keep going. We need that legendary, though. There it is, with 5 cubes remaining. Now it's time to get a line of drop. I might be a little more picky with this one, depending on what happens, because this is also my damage gear, so it's kind of important that it, is not an awful potential. Oh, that's a good mage potential. Let's go buy some more red cubes. I'll buy 10 stacks again. I've never, I mean, I don't think I've ever had this many mesos to play with in Reboot. Ever. This is pretty fun. Every time I do one of these cubing sessions, it's always really enjoyable. Drop lines are being shy right now. All right, there it is. Item drop rate plus 20. That really sucks. That potential actually sucks a lot. I'm gonna keep using black cubes on this for a little while. I don't know how many I'll put into it, but yeah, that really sucks. That's an awful potential. All right, so I have a couple options here. I can take the damage loss, which in reality is not that big of a damage loss because this potential on this thing was not very good to begin with, or I could invest more money into black cubes and try to get something better. I think for now, I'm just gonna have to settle with this and just deal with it. It'll be fine. It's not a big deal. In the future, I can always make it better if need be. So we have 3 pieces of drop gear now. I was aiming for 5, and I'm barely even through my mesos. I've spent 3.5 billion to get here, so that's actually kind of close to the estimated cost of getting a piece of drop gear is about 1 bill each. So that's pretty good. Next, though, I need to make a decision about the Dominator pendant, because one of these Dominator pendants needs to be transferred over to a Sweetwater pendant in the future. The other one can be used for drop gear. You can't anvil pendants because they're not visible on your character, even though I feel like it would be really easy to implement that, and they could do it. It would just take a lot of artwork. But you can't. So if I have 2 legendary Dominator pendants, it's going to be a little confusing sometimes. The other consideration, though, is that eventually one of these will become a Sweetwater pendant, and a Dominator pendant is a pretty decent choice for drop gear. Just, it kind of sucks that, I don't know, it's hard to get. One other option I have, and this is not a great option. It's not my favorite option, but it did just pop into my head. I could go get a reinforced Golix pendant and use that And that would also give me an extra 30 attack power if I use that and then a reinforced ring in the future. That's an option. Now, another option that I have that I'm considering is maybe just spending the rest of my money on black cubes and throwing them at these rings to hopefully get 2 lines. Because these rings, every single ring I have equipped here is nothing more than a drop gear ring. It's not a damage ring. And if I could get more useful lines on these rings, then that would be awesome. So I think what I'm gonna do for now is I'm gonna invest a lot of money into these rings right now. We're gonna buy a lot of black cubes. Like billions and billions of mesos worth of black cubes. Rolling a 2-line meso slash drop, I went over this before, it's about a 6 billion meso cost. So theoretically, I should be able to get at least 1, 2 if I have a little bit of good luck. Ooh, look at all those black cubes. All right, so the first ring, I think I'm gonna do the Master SS. No, the Reboot Awake ring is the best one I have. So we'll start with this one. And let's get 2-line meso drop, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, baby! There it is. The first one. Item drop rate and mesos obtained. So that's a net gain of about, well, basically just the 20% item drop rate. So that's awesome. Didn't even take that long. However, it is worth noting that we do lose quite a bit of damage from not having percent strength on this ring. So keep that in mind. Replace it with the Kanish treasure in the future, right? So if we go, actually, it's still a damage loss for the Kanish treasure right now. In the future, once I upgrade this, get this to 17 stars and even 22 down the line, it'll be a lot better. So that's the first one. I kind of wasn't expecting it to happen that quickly, but next we'll do the Master Ring SS. This is the next strongest ring that I have, so let's get something good on it. Yeah, let's go. Hold on, I'm gonna share this with my Discord. That is damn near perfect, to be honest with you. That is about the best thing I could have gotten because I actually forgot that I needed another piece of meso gear, and now this ring puts me at 100%. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's go. Equipment item, 100%. So this is now pretty much a completed ring. There's basically nothing else I want to do with this moving forward. I can't believe how few cubes it's taking to get these results. Hold on, I have to do this now because I'm gonna forget or like not care later. Let's go ahead and item lock this Master SS ring because now this is actually good enough to lock. There's no reason for me to ever re-roll this, really. Unless I'm going for 3-line, which is absurd. So I'm just not gonna worry about that. I will be happy with what I got. And on top of the fact that it was 2-line meso, which is perfect, it also has a line of strength. Like, it literally could not be a better training ring for dropping meso. Fantastic, love it. It looks like it expires right before Christmas. That's cool, it's a cute little Christmas present. Okay, so let me see, this is where I'm at now with my gear on. And I need to have my familiar out. 159% drop rate and 1184 meso. That's very good. That's quite good. Need to get my drop rate a lot higher. So when it says skills, what in the hell does it mean by skills? That's not the familiar, is it? No, the familiar is the usable item. I don't know what it means by skills, to be honest with you. So, what is next on the list of things to upgrade? I'm thinking of maybe throwing some more at this greed pendant because it does kind of suck now that I don't need any more meso lines. The only useful 2-line for me now moving forward, arguably, let's say that arguably the only useful 2-line potential for me moving forward is going to be 2 lines of items. So with that knowledge in mind, actually, I think it might be worth going for 1-line items still. I think that might be what I need to do. And in that vein, I really need to make this decision on the Dominator pendants. I really need to make this choice. So let me go check something real quick. Oh, okay, so a reinforced Golix pendant is 450 coins. I simply do not have that right now, unfortunately. So that's not really a route I can pursue. You know what would actually be really great? Shoot, why didn't I think of this sooner? Oh my god, I feel so dumb right now. I could have gotten an alien fragment necklace. That would have been a great piece of drop gear. It kind of sucks. So yeah, like I said, I am very hesitant to pursue a 2-line item now because I no longer have a need for Meso. There is, like I said, an argument to be made here that, like, if I were to get drop Meso on my greed pendant, which is actually not desirable, I would rather just have drop on it, but I guess it doesn't really matter because it's mostly only going to be used when grinding. Doesn't really matter. But if I were to get an item drop rate and a Meso line on another piece of equipment that's not a ring, I could actually swap out one of these 1-line rings for the for a better ring that does more damage, like my Kana's treasure. So I think what I'm actually gonna do is go ahead and start pursuing 2-line on the synergy ring. I think that is my next move, because if I get 2 lines of Meso, that would actually be a bad outcome because I have 2 lines here, 1 line here, and then 1 line here. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can only really give up one of these. So actually, no, that wouldn't be a bad outcome. No, okay, so basically, if I get 2 lines on this ring of Meso, then we're fine. If I get, oh god, if I get 2 lines of drop, that's gonna kind of suck. I could sit here and speculate all day. Let's just do it. Yes! How is it that fast and easy? That's not fair, dude. What is my RNG right now? Oh my god. Eventually, though, I do want to re-roll these because max HP and max MP lines are not useful, so way later down the line, I'm going to re-roll these. In fact, it's so far down the line that I'm actually just going to item guard this now and not even worry about it. How is it this easy to get 2-line Meso drop? What's happening right now? I remember saying a while ago, and I don't know if this is actually going to be in any of the videos because there was a lot of footage that I cut out of me talking about my Ilium, but I said that I always wanted to really optimize my rings to have 2-line drop Meso on them, and I'm kind of doing that now. So as far as Meso goes, we're still at 100%. And our drop rate is pretty good now too. We have 100% drop rate from items alone. One of the main reasons that I wanted to focus on getting these rings to be better drop gear is because I'm already using them as drop/Meso gear, so I wouldn't lose any damage from just making these better. I would lose a little bit of damage, of course. Like I've lost a lot of stat doing this, making these drop pieces, but ultimately it's all good, you know? I need to make a decision on what to do next. I am still sitting on a lot of cubes. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 8, 12, 13, 14. It's a lot of cubes. I'm not going to do the math because I don't care. That's a lot of cubes to have still, and there's a lot I could do with these. I don't necessarily even need to use them for drop gear. I guess I could look into making this Noble Iphia's ring better because I do still rely on it for Mesos obtained. So if I'm going to rely on it for Mesos, maybe it's worth putting more money into. But I guess the argument against that is there's still other event rings that I could get that would be way more powerful than the Noble Iphia's ring, even with the Noble Iphia's ring's Ifia Ring's Star Force. The fact that it doesn't have the extra attack power is actually what really holds it back. If I were to get another like top tier event ring like the Awake ring here with 40 all stat and 25 attack power, it would heavily outdo the Noble Ifia's ring. So I think it might be a good idea to just hold off on trying to upgrade the Noble Ifia's ring anymore and just focus on whatever I got. Part of me really wants to throw some more money at this greed pendant in order to just make it more valuable. The thing about drop gear is it takes up a slot and it makes you lose stat and damage. And if it's going to do that, it might as well be as effective at what it's supposed to do as possible. I don't know. I didn't expect to have this many cubes left over. You know what I might want to try to do? So like 179% drop, max meso. I do kind of want more drop rate though. I really do. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and we're gonna throw some more cubes at the greed pendant and see what we get. Oh, triple decks. Actual real decks this time. Oh, that was triple prime. Wait, that was triple prime. That one I just re-rolled was triple prime. Oh my god, dude. It wasn't good triple prime, but it was triple prime. You don't see that very often. Oh, whoa, wow. All right, that's really good. Well, I guess I kind of profit regardless, as long as I don't get another 2-line piece, which I do still want, kind of. That's another triple prime. Wow. All right, we went through all the cubes that were remaining and didn't get another double meso drop, which is about what I expect. I've already kind of made out like a bandit here with 3 pieces of 2-line meso drop, so can't really complain. But what I do want to do still is definitely make one of these pendants into drop gear. And I'm leaning Mechanator just because it's so much simpler and straightforward. It's not the smarter option, and I know that. So let's think about face accessories. What face accessory could I use that would be good for drop meso gear? And the only answer really is Sweetwater. Unfortunately, despite me saying I wanted to start doing Sweetwater, I haven't started doing it. So I guess I need to just go get an Epot scroll, put it on this Dominator pendant, and make it into drop gear. So let's go ahead and do that. Just not worry too much about it. The confusion of having 2 legendary Dominator pendants will eventually no longer be an issue once I make one of them a Sweetwater pendant. So it's just a matter of time, and this is really the smarter move. It's not necessarily the smartest, but it is the move I'm making. So we started out with triple, that's good. Let's just go ahead and cube here. I probably shouldn't be using reds to tier up. Just kidding. Just kidding, always use reds to tier up no matter what, because I just got lucky one time, so that means that's the strat, right? One thing to consider about my other Dominator pendant that's at Unique, I mean, they're both at Unique now, but the other one, I don't believe when you transfer something, I don't think the flame stays. I think it uses the flame from the item you transfer to. I don't actually remember, but I think that's how it works. And the potential being unique is really not that big of a deal. I don't think I'm gonna worry about 16 starring the Dominator pendant because I'm just gonna go ahead and use fodder items anyway to get it to the Dominator pendant. And we're gonna lose the potential, but it'll just drop down to epic. It won't be a huge deal. I can always get it back to legendary in the future. So anybody who might have a concern about that, don't worry. I am well aware of that, and I am keeping it in mind. There it is. Oh my god, I totally zoned out there for a second. I am so tired. Oh my god. Let's go ahead and buy some red cubes. Just get one line of drop on this and it'll be fine. We'll be at 200% drop rate, which is awesome. I will be super happy with that. It's really not amazing, but it'll help so much with so many things. It'll make the whole grind a lot better. And yeah, you know, you get it. You understand. Not mesos. It's not what we're looking for. Oh, there it is. Item drop rate plus 20%. Alrighty. So, there is still more stuff that I want to take care of, and I'm here, so I might as well take care of it now. I need to 17 star my CRA equips. So there it is, 200% drop rate. I don't know what it means by skills. I really don't get that. Am I missing something? I must be missing something. I don't understand where that 19% is coming from. Okay. Next, we need to do some star forcing. So that means I'm going home. Now, I'm just gonna straight up star force these. I'm not even gonna concern myself with safeguarding or any of that nonsense. I'm not gonna wait for an event. Actually, I might wait for an event for 17 star. I might just go to 15 right now. I really actually don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. But it doesn't really matter because the cost of these is not that huge to 17 star. And I have basically an infinite number of replacement items, so it's not a concern. Well, okay, if I keep getting luck like this, it might actually be a concern, the cost. All right, 15. There's the destruction. Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and actually wait for an event to 17 star these. Oh, what am I doing? I need to do it through here. I'm gonna wait for an event to 17 star these, actually. I'm just gonna get them to 15. I'm not gonna bother with being too optimized about this, because I just wasted like 1.5 billion mesos on this. What? Excuse me? Excuse me. What was that? What was that? What in the hell? Oh, that's a good flame. Well, that's actually a much better flame than what I had before, so you can go bye-bye. I'm done with this item. Oh, I can't drop here. All right, I guess we're just rolling with this now. Didn't expect to actually get such a good flame. That's pretty good. All right, let's just get to 15 stars, dude. This is absurd. Oh my god. Might be the most destructions I've ever had sub 15 stars. Oh man, that's crazy. What? Why? I am not a fan of this hat right now. I'll be honest with you. I guess this is karma for getting so lucky with the rings earlier. And you know what? If this is the trade-off for that, I will take it. I would take that trade-off every day of my life. You know what's insane about this system? And I know this whole, oh, Star Force sucks. That shit's been beaten into the ground for a long time. But it's crazy that Nexon has a system in this game that is so unfair and unrewarding that you could theoretically spend an infinite number of mesos and get absolutely nothing from it. In fact, you could lose progress. That's insane. That is insane that we still play this game despite all that. Anyway, I don't care. It's not real money, so. It don't matter none. I still have some cubes, and one thing that I was considering, I haven't looked at the Paladin Discord or done any research on this. This is based purely on my knowledge of the class, but I think for grinding, you actually might want a cooldown hat because it should, if I'm not mistaken, it should affect Hammers of the Righteous and give you just a little more uptime. It'll also affect Heaven's Hammer, I believe. Does it? Does it not? I don't. It's so arbitrary what it does and doesn't affect. Mighty Mjolnir is not really a big deal. I don't think it affects much, but I'm thinking maybe Hammers of the Righteous having a little more uptime would be good. So let's see if maybe I could get a good potential on this. I don't know. I'm kind of doubting that this will do anything, and I'll just throw away the rest of these cubes that I have. Oh, and I'm kicked out of the game. All right, let's try that again. 2-line strength, a tier up to unique, anything. I'm not really looking to spend a bunch of mesos right now, to be honest with you. I'm kind of low. Oh, nice. Good tier up. Double Mystic Door. I forgot that was a line you could still get. Ah, 2-line Dex. Oh, that sucks. Well, I might as well go buy more red cubes because, you know, why not? Let's get the legendary tier up. 12% strength. I'm just gonna settle with that because I don't trust my RNG right now to be favorable. Let's just go ahead and Star Force these up to 15 with the last of the money that I have, and I guess that'll just have to be the end of it for now. Holy shit, I can't believe how expensive this is. Oh my god, finally! And this isn't even 17 stars. This is a minor damage increase at best. It's maybe some more stat. So, yeah, awesome, really fun. I just need this last item, dude. I just need this last 1 to 15 stars, and then I can move on. There's another fun destruction. Game crashed, making it really hard for me to want to finish doing this. I am gonna go ahead and call it here for this session because I'm tired, I'm done with this, and I'm basically out of money anyway. So all in all, we kind of lost a lot of damage because, I mean, that's the nature of this. I didn't even keep, I had extras down here that I was holding on to, like they were gonna do something for me. I ended up getting new ones anyway. So I'm so tired. That was a good session. We're at 200% item drop rate now, and 100% mesos tamed. I have no idea, to be honest with you. I don't know where that 19% item drop rate was coming from. I don't know. It's gone now. And I just don't know where it went or where it came from in the first place. I don't care. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go for my run and go to sleep. My god. Oh, level 237. Let's go. Level 238. Let's go. Hey guys. Quick update on things. So obviously I've done a couple totems. I'm 3 totems in, and I haven't made a clip about this yet because I've been a little busy, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 totems that I need to finish before the first, which is in 2 days, 3 days? 3 days. So I decided to just go ahead and start grinding now, even though I didn't really want to. It made more sense so I didn't waste these wild totems. We finally got the Q4 roadmap 2022 that outlines the timeline for the future updates that I've talked about that have heavy implications for what happens when on this progression series. and kind of this channel as a whole, but mostly for the progression series. So, coming up very soon here in early October, we have the Night Troop, Home Halloween event, and Halloween Candy Party. Not really sure what that's all about. But we also have a cash inventory transfer event, which I'm excited about because that'll allow me to finally move my little glowy over to my Explorer cash inventory so I can finally have a vac pet again. Most of this stuff is not really that interesting. The early to mid, I mean, just October stuff in general is really not that impactful for the series because I knew nothing interesting was going to happen in October anyway, so there you go. By the end of October, I should absolutely be done with leveling the Paladin, but we run into a little bit of a problem because in November is when we're getting Ignition, and I was under the impression that it would come in December. So, what does this mean exactly? I'm not really sure. It depends on what I'm able to do with my Paladin. Because if I can reach level 250 before like the middle of October, then I can probably have enough time to work on the blaster as well. Getting the blaster from 221 to 235 will definitely not take more than 2 weeks if I'm focused. I guess at that point it maybe becomes a little bit of a problem of accessibility of totems. But I also think that now with Ignition coming in November, I might be pushing it a little bit with wanting to do the blaster as well. But I don't really know what to make of that information quite yet. I just need to see how long it's going to take to get a level in the 240s on my Paladin, because currently it's not that bad. I mean, I was able to get 2 levels very quickly. Actually, kind of more like 1 and maybe 1.5 levels. I think maybe 1.5 levels would be more accurate to what I've gotten in 3 totems. So, I don't know. But regardless, and this is something I was thinking about Ignition anyway, is that regardless of when Ignition actually hits GMS, I kind of was thinking of maybe actually doing the hyper burning towards December regardless. So I have a little bit of a special series idea planned out for hyper burning and Ignition that I want to do. I'm thinking that's the plan for now, unless something changes. If something changes and that plan cannot happen, then, you know, so be it. I don't really want to get into it yet because the plan is actually still in very early development. But this new hyperburning series that I'm considering and discussing will be a little different and have a little bit more going on with it. And I think it could be good to have something like that on my channel, sort of an early game guide to progression with like really detailed steps on how to do everything. So that's kind of the plan for the hyperburning series right now. But simultaneously, I also want to try to integrate hyperburning stuff into the progression series. But regardless of all of that, that's probably still not going to happen until December. It really is contingent on when I finish this Paladin and then when I finish the Blaster. At that point, we can start worrying about the hyperburning Ignition stuff. So I was giving a little more thought to what character to hyperburn, and honestly, at this point, it's probably going to be my dual blade. And I'll tell you why. Because while I do want to have all these boss mules doing all this stuff, the reality is I already have my main character, either one of these, I'm not sure which one quite yet, already been over that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 boss mules. So that's effectively 5 days out of the week that I would be doing bosses. And that's kind of a lot. Going beyond that would be very, very intensive every week to get Mesos. So as much as I wanted to hyper burn a Demon Avenger or an Angelic Buster, just look at all of these characters I already have that can be turned into boss mules. I have a Buccaneer, an Ilium, a Bishop, a Kaiser. The Blaster is already definitely confirmed to become a boss mule, along with the Dual Blade. But it's just, I just realized it's too much, and I don't think I could handle having more than 5 bossing characters. We'll see in the future if that changes, but if I want to take these bossing characters beyond 235 and then beyond 250, etc., if I were to keep these characters at 236 and just do up to Lomian, then it probably wouldn't be an issue, because clearing Lotus and Damien and all the bosses before it takes maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So I could easily knock out 2 or 3 of those in a day, no problem. I would just be missing out on reward points if I did it that way, but you know, whatever, doesn't really matter too much. I am flush with reward points. I don't have to worry about reward points. I can buy all the totems I need per month, and all the black cubes and all the red cubes. I could pretty much max out the entire reward point shop and still have a ton of reward points left over. So I'm not really worried about that part too much. So there is the argument, and I'm just now thinking about this actually, where I could take these characters up to 250 and just park them there, because going beyond 250 is going to be very intensive anyway, gearing up for those bosses and all that. So if I'm just doing 250, that would be like maybe up to normal will, right? Or something. I don't actually know. I haven't really done the research to figure that out yet. So maybe I could have more than 5 bossing characters, because if I'm not bringing them beyond a certain point where I'm doing 15-minute boss runs to clear really hard bosses, you know, then maybe it doesn't really matter. I could do 2 or 3 a day. So I don't know, just thinking about that. But it is also important to note that hyper burning the dual blade is a very important part of the hyper burning series. It kind of has to be the dual blade for reasons that will become obvious in the future. So that's really all that I wanted to talk about with regards to what the future plan is. Basically, nothing's going to change other than hyper burning is now going to be used on the dual blade due to a change in what I wanted to do with ignition. So I have a couple more less important things to mention here. Actually, just one more thing. You might have noticed that my keyboard sounds a little quieter. I switched off of the clicky Kale box. What was it? Navy? I don't remember what I had, but I switched off of those and switched to tactile Zelios V2 switches. And not only do they feel a lot better, but they are noticeably more quiet. They still get picked up on the microphone pretty well, but they feel awesome. I'm really glad I made this change. Nobody's ever really complained about the noise of my keyboard in the videos, but I noticed it and it was starting to become an annoyance to me, so I went ahead and did something about it. So there we go. That's really all I have to discuss. I'm going to be doing more totems. I have collected 60 or so node stones in the 3 totems that I've done, so I'm getting about 10 node stones per hour. Threads of Fate, I'm still waiting for Tengu to be fixed before I really do anything with this. I'm just collecting these every day to eventually use them on the characters and then start getting my free mysterious herb pouches while that system is still available, because who knows when they're going to get rid of it. So that's all I have for you for now. Back to the grind.